Oh, here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. And thank you so much for being here. I am here with Lisa, who joined the Raise Your Voice Retreat Q2 in the beginning of April 2020. And today we're going to be talking about her experience in the Raise Your Voice Retreat. But before I get into all of that, let me first introduce myself. I'm Cassandra. I'm the creator and founder of the Quirky Pineapple Studio, a brand strategy and copywriting studio for impact-driven service providers who want to really increase their income, impact, and influence. And we host quarterly retreats, virtual retreats for 5 hours. And Lisa joined us in our last one, and she's actually joining us again for the next one. And she is a Canadian who's been living in Madrid for 6 years, five,
6.5.
6.5 years, and she teaches medical English
Mm-hmm.
to professionals in the medical field, doctors, residency students, I believe.
Yeah, residents.
Residents.
Any kind of health professionals, scientists, doctors, residents. Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so I'll let you reintroduce yourself if there's anything that I missed, and then we'll just get straight into questions.
Sure. Yeah, you introduced me from Canada. I lived in Madrid. I started my business 5 years ago, and my background is in biochemistry, nutrition. So when I started teaching English here with my own business, it was a logical match to work with health professionals, and I've been doing it for 5 years, growing all the time, and yeah, excited to get my content figured out.
Yay! That's really cool. Okay, so the first question is, why did you decide to join the first retreat?
Yes. Well, a couple of reasons. One was, I guess the most important was that I have like a little bit, like I'm playing around with content with social media, but just touching it, really not doing it very much. And I really have been wanting to get things organized, to get my head around it. I mean, I actually worked in direct marketing before I started my business here in Spain, but it's different to do it for your work and then to do it for your own business. So it was like to get everything organized. I really wanted the push to get me going, and also to try and take advantage of the time we were at home these last couple months. So
Yeah.
there was a couple things that happened. Yeah.
Awesome. So what actually drew you into the Quirky Pineapple Studio? Because we had met a few times before in Madrid, but we hadn't really like talked.
No, we didn't. I think it was, seeing your posts that you had out there, and I mean, you were talking about the things that I needed to do. So it was like the right match. And then I started looking at the retreat, and then I started reading more of your blogs and trying to, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I was not even sure if I was going to do it at the initial time. So I spent a bunch of time. I said, give me a week. Let me look at some things. Let me get my head around it. And I looked at a lot of things that you had. You recommended some posts for me to read. And then once I got my head around it a little bit, then I think very logical thinker. So for me, the preparing even to make the decision took a while, or took a week. And then one of the things I loved about the workshop was how logical and how many strategies and things, because it really helped the way I think, and also very practical. So
yeah, awesome. Okay,
glad I did.
Yay, me too, and I'm glad that you're joining us again.
Yes.
So what was from the last retreat, because the next one hasn't actually happened yet, while we're recording this, what was your biggest takeaway from the last one, and I guess your favorite part?
Well, it's kind of mixed together, the ideas. One of the things that I found really helpful for the last retreat, and I'm working on it now for the next one, is the homework that you give us to do. And it's one of the things that I found, maybe one of the things that paid off the most was doing the homework. It allowed me to really review the first quarter. And actually, I went back further to try to look at, because I hadn't looked at my numbers for a while, even though I've been doing this for 5 years. And so that helped me. And then during the retreat, related to the homework, you built on that and you talked about some of the ways you track your business. And since then, I've created a dashboard that I'm hoping to use quarterly to look at my numbers, to be more, because I find that the numbers are so overwhelming. But now I think I've narrowed it down to some important things. So I'm going to be implementing that on an easier way and regularly, because 3 months seems like sometimes not very long, but if I don't do it for a year, then I mean, I missed 4 opportunities. So
Yeah.
it's like only 4 times a year.
It really is. And
Yeah, it
actually, this
is.
is something that I learned. It's easy to make decisions in our business, like because we are the owners, we're
Hmm.
always making decisions. But when we
Yes.
look at the data, it makes it 10 times easier because now we're making logical decisions and
Hmm.
not just like, I mean, trusting your gut is important, but
Hmm.
also understanding the numbers can help back
Yeah.
up your gut feeling.
Yeah. And I reviewed things I had already looked at before, and I got new information in the framework of what you're doing.
Hmm.
So it was really helpful. Another big thing that came out of the workshop itself was I have created 6 content categories. And
Yay!
I have a lot of ideas now. That the editorial calendar was really helpful, like to put everything in one place. And I have 27 blog topic ideas
That's amazing.
all in my editorial calendar. So those are, and that's a lot of things that stops me from writing sometimes is that, I feel I don't have ideas, but now maybe that pressure is a little less. I have started thinking about a video series idea that I have for Instagram.
That's amazing.
And I've drafted one of them, and that I hope to share that on Saturday. Give feedback to
Yay!
the group. It's not the video itself, but like the ideas around it
Yeah.
and the content for it. I'm working on my summer promotion and thinking about the content that will go around that, starting from a blog, repurposing content to try to use in different like Facebook and Instagram,
Hmm.
etc. I've drafted a schedule for my blog and my posts. Like I have to give myself a little bit of something accountability to work on.
Awesome.
And I've identified some important dates for May and June that and identified, for example, one of them, I mean, it's not a secret, is that I have some of my residents graduating the end of May. And so, I mean, they all the residents graduate in May, the final year residents, and I've never done a congratulation for them, kind of like a
Mm.
thing. So I think it's a milestone for my clients that I wouldn't have thought about if we hadn't had that in the calendar to look at these dates. So those
That's
were
awesome.
the big
So
outcomes.
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's really great. And I
Yeah.
also love the fact that now you're looking at just not only your calendar and the content that you want
Hmm.
to create and your promotions, but also taking into account the calendar around your clients or their
Yes.
calendar.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
kind of being there for them and going that extra mile with your content to
Hmm.
congratulate them because that's really what marketing is
I mean, you want them to notice the things that are important
yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
next question is, well, I think you almost answered it in the last question. What have you done so far, and why did you decide to join the retreat again? Because you're in the other one.
Yes. Okay. Well, I talked about the things that I've done since the retreat.
Yes.
Why I'm doing it again is because I find that like each retreat or it's a process to develop your content. So we did so much in developing the ideas, the schedule, putting things in, like having a structure, and the content categories was something that really helped me, because otherwise I was just like everything all together in my head. And so now because it's focusing on writing now, I'm excited to be able to get my head a little bit more into the structures, the way for me to put to take a blog idea and put it together, and then to maybe repurpose it. So it's like getting that part. I mean, all of this is because I'm doing it for the first time. So
Yeah.
once we go through these, and you gave so many good things in the first workshop, your presentations that you do to the group were so great and so full of day-to-day technical things that that I can see myself doing. And then
Yeah.
now I have like at least a way to start. Maybe I'll change them, but at least I have some way to start, because for me starting is hard if I don't if I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I don't understand what you mean. And also, when you have like so much to do, especially in content marketing,
Hmm.
having one a starting point, but also I guess the templates or processes around
Hmm.
it makes it
Yes.
10 times
For
easier.
me,
Then you
yes.
don't have to be like, oh, what do I do first?
Yes, I can be creative, but within a structure and logical framework.
I love it. That's how I like to be creative too. And that's, in my opinion, the best way to be
But
creative.
I can't like free associate things, it has
Yeah.
to be within like some structure.
And it makes sense because I think
Yeah.
once you structure your creativity, you can have
Hmm.
more space to be creative. It's like a backwards.
Mm. And I was like that when I worked in the area before
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So but this is like taking another look at it with time that's dedicated to this, with experts around me and other peers that we support each other. So for me, it really worked. It was really useful, and I can't wait for this weekend.
Yay! I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Okay, so I don't have any other questions, but do you have
Hmm.
any last word sounds funny, but um,
Ooh,
last
yeah, not last words. Last words for this call.
yeah, last words for this call that you would like to share with the people watching.
Well, I think if they're thinking about doing it,
Uh-huh.
hopefully you can see all the things that I did, and and maybe it speaks to you, and you can see what's holding you up. And I would say do it. I think it's really worth it, and it really helped me a lot. And we're going to keep going.
Yay! Yeah, I also think like setting aside the time too, because it's
Hmm.
5 hours that we're hanging out
Yeah,
together,
yeah,
to just work on your business and not like in the nitty gritty and the
hmm,
details stuff. This is like
yeah,
helping your business grow.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was
it's
great,
one
really great.
Saturday.
One Saturday. Oh yeah, and I mean, I would have done it longer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's long because it's like 5 hours. You're tired at the end, but it's full of so many good things. I mean, that's why I'm doing it again, because I need more.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah,
Okay, well, I don't have any other questions, Lisa, but thank you for answering the questions and for sharing your experience with us and anybody else who's watching.
yes,
I'm excited for this Saturday.
yes, me too.
I feel like it will end up being a little bit longer because we always end up doing that.
Hmm.
And people love the virtual co-working at the end,
Yes,
just like
yeah,
hanging out and stuff. So we'll
and to
probably
get
hang
things
out
out of
for,
your head from the workshop before you sign off. Yeah,
yes.
that
Yeah.
was good. That
Well,
last little
thank
push.
you.
Yes,
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
great. See you soon. Bye.